right, so we've already got a couple objects on the page. I'm going to change one into a cylinder. And I'm cheating, I'm using my templates here. Let's do this one. At the request of the students, I'm going to fake this one into... Okay, that is now a cylinder. All right, so first let's do the easy lighting, which we've talked about before. It's the, let me drop this down, make a new layer. All right, so first is the easy lighting, which is the parallel sun rays. So let's just do the box first. So we've got to decide like how far to go, what distance we have, and what angle we have. And I'm doing this all freehand, but it's a little hard, so I'm going to use my my ruler just to be a little quicker. All right, so let's try this distance. All right, so we are little flagpoles. We're going from the top of each of these. I'm just going to draw these off in space from the back corners too, and from the back corner there. So get that out of there. And then now I'm going to go from the bottom of each flagpole and connect those points in space. This guy goes off, meets up this guy, which is here. This one, here's the top, here's the bottom, horizontal off. There's that point. And last one, horizontal off to this point right there. Now, if this and this are connected, then that means that this and that are connected. And if this and that one are connected up here, follow it down, I connect those two. And then, as I mentioned before, all of these lines should go, if this goes off to vanishing point over there, let me scoot this over, the top edges should go to that same vanishing point. So there's my vanishing point over there. So these should technically go to that same vanishing point, and they're close enough. So there we go. But now we see it's crossing the cylinder, and somebody's just asking me this. How do I... Well, let's shade this in real quick. So we've got... Oops, wrong tool. This is the shadow of our box. Up to there. Okay, but you see it goes right through the cylinder, so we got a problem. So what are we going to do about that? Well, I think one of the ways you can kind of look at it is, we know the point where this hits the cylinder edge, and it hits it over there. So we know that that's a point where the shadow starts on the cylinder. But I can divide the cylinder up, and this is a little squish, so you may not be able to see exactly, but I'm going to take the top, and my top oval is not quite right. It needs to be a little more open. So let's correct that. It's about like that. So I'm going to do my diagonal across there to find the center point. So I might just quickly divide up this surface of the box, the encompassing box. And then, so that's the kind of midway line of my cylinder. Thank you. Now I'm going to move backwards. Those flagpoles that we use for the corners, we can make them anywhere. So I'm going to move backwards and say, all right, I found the center of my cylinder, and let's stay in red. And now I'm going to go backwards in perspective to the box. And I see it's actually off this line, but that's okay. I'm going to extend this line a little bit. And so I've got this meeting point as if I've extended the length of this box. The wall, I've kind of come out a little bit further. So this is a new flagpole that I just made up to see where the shadow will be on the side of the box. And so if I follow that, goes up, and I follow this new line down, that is off the edge of the box. Now let's go back the other way around. Let's follow, change it to green. Let's follow this flagpole. Goes over to this cylinder and meets the bottom of the cylinder there. It goes up the cylinder. And then I come down, and that's a little bit off the top of the cylinder as well, but it's a point about there. So what that tells me is that already I can kind of see that my shadow is going to go up. Sorry, get that. Shadow is going to go up and curve there and then head back down to this point on the other side, like a parabolic curve. So I could probably just fake that in there, but maybe I need some more points to define where that is. So let's pick a point in the midpoint of this box, just for, it doesn't have to be midpoint, it could be any point. And that's going to be off the edge. This is... Yeah, I think I'm just going to go quick. I'm going to say, yeah, that's my shadow. All right. So what I've got is this curves down to this point, wraps up over here, and it goes around the corner because on the other side it's going behind the object. So let's go back to our bluish color and shade this in. I'll see if I can explain this better on another shape, but that is a shadow line. Now I'm going to turn this layer way down and just redraw that now that I have all my information. So our shadow goes over here, goes up to there, goes over here, wraps up the side of my cylinder, kind of heads back down. And then behind here, comes up there. So let's get a marker so we can fill this in a little better. Sound effects. And I'll turn that layer down a little bit too. Okay, so there's the shadow. Now I did this floating box in here too because some people were asking, well, how do I do a floating shadow? So in this case, I got to think about it like a that I need 2 points for every flagpole. I'm going to top and a bottom. So I'm going to ignore all the stuff in front. Let's project all this down, down, down. And we have to determine where this lands on the ground. Unfortunately, this is all kind of behind the cylinder. So let's just zoom in for a minute. So I also have to determine in space where this is. Wherever I decide that this base is will kind of determine how big that object is. So maybe I'll pick... What time we got? 9. Okay, 10:03. Whoops. I will just... I'm actually going a little bit further back than I should, just so it's not completely right on top of the cylinder. So this is actually a bigger box back in perspective. Okay, I'm going to call this the base of where that thing is standing. So now let's do our, we'll do this in green. So we're going to go off horizontally from each of those corners on the base, and that's those. And then I had that whatever degree angle this is, and that's the same angle. So now I need 2 points. I'm going to go from the bottoms with one color. We'll just draw all these off. Okay, and then I'm going to choose a different color for the top of the box. And that will be red. And let's get our... So now I'm going up to the top corners of each of these. And normally I do them one by one and connect them, but I'm just drawing them all and then we'll trace them out. Because I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so now I need to kind of follow these lines. So here's the top corner. And let's pick a blue color. Okay, so top corner comes down to, go down to the base, which was here. And I followed that out. And there's the top corner. Okay, so there's one point. That's not quite dark enough, but there's one point. Okay, so now let's follow this across, and we're going to use this one. So we'll come down, follow that to our base, which is here. That goes out, and that is here. All right, so that represents a top edge, and so we know that is connected. And now let's find this one. So we're going to go down this red line to the point back in space, which is this top one. And that is, wait, sorry, red line, this point. Okay, and then up here, these are connected. And so now these two must be connected. Now we're going to go this line right here. So we already did that corner, so now we're going to follow this one down. First, let's go to the base, which is right there. Run across one of these middle lines, and that comes down to there. So those two are connected, so these two must be connected. And lastly, these two are connected, and we already mapped those two out, so those got to be connected. And like I said, these should actually technically go back to the vanishing point, and these should go to the vanishing point. That's the top of the box. Now let's do the next box, which is the lower part of the box, and then we'll just connect all the points in between. So now we're going to do this, this red color here. We're going to figure out that space. So let's start in this corner. That's the green color. We're going down. This color goes across. Here's the base. Go across to green. Right there is my first point. Second one is this back corner. That's right there. I didn't draw that. Oh, that's the green one. Okay. So that green one crosses red right there. So those two are connected. Let's do this two lines here. So we got this point and this point. We come down, and that one goes to this line. This one goes to this line. All right, so those two are connected because we just connected those two. Now I can actually just connect these two because I know I've got those parallel lines. All right, so basically I've got these two boxes floating in space, and now I just need to connect these edges, which are the uprights. And that's the shadow of this box in perspective. So let's trace that out now. And let's double check going back to our vanishing points. Yeah, that's pretty good. And this side should go to that vanishing point, and that one should go to that vanishing point. And so what we actually have is this as our shadow of that floating box. And let's get that color. Okay, so there's the shadows for that scene. That is the parallel light source, and our time is almost up. So I'm going to stop this.